Hi, all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and my channel is all about trying new makeup, talking about new makeup, but also finding new and exciting ways to be inspired by the makeup you already own. If that sounds good to you, I hope you will consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed today's video, hitting the like button. So today, guys, I have decided that I want to sit down and play with the new quint, one of the new quints from Pat McGrath's holiday collection, Bronze Bliss. I've already done an initial first impression review of this, and I want to play with it some more because I really enjoyed it. And what I find so interesting about palettes like this is that even though they're really small, if the color story is on point, it can be really, really inspiring to play with. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's do a 2 looks 1 palette. I would love to do a 3 looks 1 palette, but it is not in the cards for me because I am hella busy. It is currently, I don't even know what time it is because I don't have my phone in front of me, but it is, I don't think it's even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. And so if my voice sounds a little croaky, that's why, because it's super early and I just woke up not that long ago. I got up, got ready, slapped some makeup on my face, and I'm like, you know what, let's film this. Let's get this done. So we're going to do it. We're going to do 2 looks. It's going to be one on either eye. And then I'm going to sadly wash it off and go about my busy day. But I still wanted to play with this. And I don't know, I might wash everything off and then still wind up wearing the palette. Because I have to say, of the 2 palettes, Celestial Nirvana and Bronze Bliss is the one that I've been the most excited to play with more. So let's do that. My eyes are now primed. I have my makeup on. I am wearing Gucci Tasty Haze on my lips. We'll see if this goes with the look. I wanted to wear dark lip, but I didn't want to do black because I did black in the first video. We'll see. I might take this off and put on like an orange. Ooh, an orange. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so let me move all of these brushes out of the way. I have a pile of little dirty brushes that are taking up space, so let's just move them out of the way so I'm not taking up any room. All right, so I'm thinking I want to do something a bit graphic with the first eye and the first look. So I'm going to take this Kyoto brush, or should I take the smaller one? Maybe I'll take the small. I'm going to take the smaller one first just to map this out. Kind of have an idea what I want to do, but I want to go slowly with it so as not to, you know, screw it up. There is a little mirror on this, so I'm going to use that, and I think it'll actually be really good to make sure that I'm getting the detailing how I want it. So I'm going to start off by mapping out a wing. Like so, and then I'm going to dip again. And I'm dipping slowly so that I don't have too much pigment that I can't control, because this is incredibly pigmented and incredibly dark. And that is sort of the thing with any sort of dark shadow, especially any shadow that's like this, that's kind of got like, you know, a lot of black pigment, is to go slowly with it. It'll make things much easier to navigate. Okay, so that wing is done. Now I'm going to take the bigger Kyoto brush, and I'm going to dip into that shade again, and I'm going to map out a line just above my crease. Again, I'm going slowly. I'm not really worrying about it being not enough pigment on my brush at this point. I honestly could do this with a smaller brush too. It might come out a little bit better. I just didn't want the line to be too sharp. But I also want to make sure that I'm and this line doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of want it to be a bit smudged. I want the wing to be perfect, but I don't care about the line necessarily being perfect. All right. All right, and now I'm going to take my Rougher 21 brush. This one still has some pigment on it. Let's wipe this off with my, do I have a clean 21? Yes, I do. Perfect. And we're gonna take this lighter shade, which I believe is Bronze Illusion. Oh my God, I read that without my glasses. I'm so proud of myself. And I'm just gonna pat that in this negative space here. You can wet it, of course. I'm not wetting it because I kind of want it to be a bit sheer. If you do not have hooded eyes, this look will be even more exciting on you, I think. I do, but I still rock looks like this because I think they're freaking stunning. And I don't let having the hooded, slightly hooded lid dictate my, my makeup taste and my makeup aesthetic. At least I try not to, as far as like techniques and looks that I wear. Okay, so I'm going to take now this pencil here. This is MAC Eye Kohl in Smolder, and I'm going to put this on my lower lash line or my lower waterline, and then I'm going to tie line. I'm going to marry that a bit. And then I'm going to take this tiny little Kyoto brush. This brush has come in clutch, I have to say. And I'm going to smudge that, but I've actually taken a little bit of the shade, and I believe this is called... Okay, so this one is Nude Moon, and the blackened one is La Vie Noire. I read that backwards. I hate it when they have the names backwards on the palettes. It always throws me off. And then I'm going to take that 21 again, and I'm going to take that shade, Nude Illusion, or Nude Moon, excuse me. I'm going to wet my brush this time. If you guys hear a lot of noise, it is raining outside, so the cars are like intense. I'm just taking this, dragging this a little bit over while the brush is still a little bit wet, just to intensify that a little bit. Eye look number 1. It's very graphic. I only used 2 shades. I used Nude Moon, just this shade here, this really light champagne-y shade, and the black shade, or the blackened gray shade. Let's get into look number 2. Okay, I'm going to take my trusty number 13, which still has some gray from when I used this palette the first time, so it's the perfect brush to use. Perfect. Right, and we're going to do a bit of a halo eye, a bit of really intense smoky halo eye though. So I'm going to go in on the corners here. I only dipped my brush once, and this is how much pigment I'm getting. So that, like I said, this is a very pigmented palette, and pigmented shadow rather. Just shimmer my nose. Dip, dip, tap, tap in a corner. Building this up. I really do want to do a third look with this. Should I do a third look with this, guys? I'm cutting it as far as time goes this morning, but I've got ideas. I've got ideas upon ideas with this bad boy. And I'm bridging that just to give my eyes some shape. I don't really like the way halo eyes look when it's open at the top, at least on me anyway. I don't feel like it looks very good on me. I've seen it on other people and I think it looks good, but on me I'm always like, meh, meh. Not so much. Okay. Dip it again, just a little on the tap. do want to intensify that just a bit. I'm also slowly bringing it up a little bit, just to lift my eye. You know the drill. You know what I like to do here. Gotta lift that eye. Okay, now we're gonna take, should we take Lunar Luxury? And I found out that this shade here, because this formulation is so beautiful, but I don't remember ever seeing this in any of her palettes before. And it's because it's a new formulation. So Lunar Luxury is a new formula from Pat, which is cool. And I think that makes this palette even more, in my opinion, valuable for the price. Like $36, and you get a formulation that is not even in any of the other shadow palettes, including her mothership. So that's kind of cool. And of course I'm bringing that up over my crease so that you can actually see it. And I'm going to go back in with Levian Noir to soften these edges and get them nice and blended together. So pretty. Now, the thing about a look like this, you can take this all the way around the eye, or you could leave it like this, do a little, liner in your waterline and do mascara, and it's enough. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, because you don't necessarily have to make this super intense on the lower lash line. But tight lining does help a lot with that. So just to marry the look together. Oh, my eye wants to water. Love that. Okay. Thanks, eye. Thanks. Okay, so let me put some mascara on and I'll be right back. All right, guys, and these are the finished eye looks. I love this eye. I like this eye a lot too. It's very graphic. And honestly, if you wanted to make this more intense, if you wanted to make it darker, you could absolutely do that. You can make it, more intense. And let me just quickly show you what I mean, I did it a little bit lighter, but you don't have to do that. So I'm just gonna take this. And do you see how much more intense that looks now? So you can do that, and you've got this wing, so it kind of gives you that double wing effect. I made it soft at first just to show you that it doesn't have to be like this super graphic look, but you can also do a super graphic. It is. And then this is your, your standard winged out halo eye. Very pretty. But let's play with these other shimmers in this palette. I do really want to play with these. So I'm going to do a quick third look. I'm crazy, I know, but I'm going to do a quick third look and then we'll wrap up. Let me take these off. All right, guys, I am back. I have redone my eyes with my primer, and now I want to show you what I mean by playing with these other shades. So I want to take, I think I'm going to take this shade. This is Costa Riche from MAC, and I'm going to just line. Make sure you zoom. That's about as zoom as you're going to get on this camera, unfortunately. I'm really just lining. And I'm being a bit messy about it, as you can see. And this is just to give the lid a little depth. Now, you of course don't have to use a brush to do this. You can use a, another shadow, but I just wanted to show you without using another palette how to get some depth really quickly. So using like a brown pencil that you already own, like a brown pencil that, this one, Costa Rica has a little bit of shimmer to it, which is why I picked it, because I think it'll play nicely with the shade we're going into. And as you can see, it just literally just gave like the teeniest amount of definition. So let's take let's take this shade. What is this? Bronzed Mink. So it's this bad boy here. And I had someone in my comments, and I did hear you. I did hear you when you asked if the shades that are in the metallics that are in this palette are anything similar to the shades that are in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals palette. And I don't want to necessarily do a whole video on just these two palettes, maybe like comparing the metallics, because honestly they're not that similar. But this one I would say is more of a true bronze than the shade Nova is in the Anastasia palette. The Anastasia palette Nova has a lot of green to it, actually. Quite a lot of green. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna take, I think I'm gonna take, I want to take a brush that doesn't have black on it. Is there a brush that doesn't have black on it? Let's take this bad boy. And I'm just going to soften that edge a little bit. And this, I wanted to do this look because I wanted to show you guys how to use these palettes in a this palette in a truly wearable way. Because, you know, it could be said that, you know, while those shades are really pretty, that's not necessarily, you know, looks or shades that you would wear on the daily, on the reg, you know, oregano. But I wanted to show you how you could do a quick look. I'm going to dip into Nude Moon, I believe is the name of this shade, in my inner corner. I'm going to take a little mascara, just a little. I don't want to do an intense mascara look because, you know, I kind of wanted to bring it back a bit for you guys. And there you go. This is just one shade. It's this bronzed mink shade here. It's a brown eye pencil, a little bit of that in my inner corner, and some mascara. And you can do an incredibly, incredibly soft look. And if you want to make it more intense, you can then take this into your waterline and do all that fun stuff. But you don't have to. Now, I want to do a soft look. And I haven't played with this shade that much, but I have to say, of all the shades in this palette, this one's probably my least favorite as far as like how it interests me. You could basically do the same thing you did here. As a matter of fact, let me take a little bit of that. Then I can say I used it and put it here. And as you can see, it actually doesn't do much. I mean, it does, but it's like, it's a very, so it just makes that a little bit brighter, and I can put a little bit down here as well. It's very pretty. Very pretty. All right, let's go into the next eye, and I'm going to go back into the black, but don't be scared, guys. I'm going to show you how you can do a really soft look with just the black. Well, not just the black, but. So I'm dipping my brush, and I'm literally just going to go to my lash line. And I'm slowly just building this up just a little bit. Can you see how soft that is? There's not a lot on my brush, and I don't want a lot on my brush. I'm going to dip again, and I'm actually wiping a little bit of it off onto my microfiber. Okay, now I'm bringing it up a little bit higher. Now I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take that blending brush, my number 13, if I can find it. I have so much, my desk right now is a disaster. I'm not even going to like pretend. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Wipe it off. And I'm just using this to further blend this out. Do you see how soft that is? That's literally all I'm doing. Literally all I'm doing. I'm then going to take my finger, not a brush, and I'm going into this Nude Moon shade. I'm going to tap. And I'm tapping over the gray as well. I'm now going to go ahead and take my 21 because I just want to bring this up a little bit higher, and I have nails, so it's a little bit harder to do. If you don't have nails, this will be easier for you to do with your finger. A little bit in the inner corner. You can wet your brush if you want this more intense, of course. I'm not doing that right this second. I'm going to take a little tiny bit. I'm going to take this small brush in, and I'm going to take a bit of that gray again, just a little under my lash line, on my lower lash line. Just a little, not a lot. And I'm going to take, what do I want to take? I think I'm going to take this brush here, wipe off some of that. Blend that out. Take my concealer brush because I've got a little bit of fallout there. I'm going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I am back. This is the finished fourth look. It's super simple. As you can see, the tiniest bit of that Labian Noir shade, tiniest bit. I took Nude Moon all over the lid with my finger, a little bit with the brush to bring it up a little bit higher, a little bit of that there, a little bit of mascara. That's all I did. These are both looks that took 2 shades. I did add that last shade, but that was just to say I did it. But you can just use those 2 shades. And an eye pencil, or don't use an eye pencil. You can go in with this shade and just buff it out. It's a little bit more, these metallics are a little bit more textured than some of her other metallics in her motherships, so they're a little bit harder to sort of blend out and make satiny, but you can do it. It'll take a little bit of work, but you can do it. I just sort of did a shortcut with that by adding pencil. But yeah, do you see how wearable both of these looks are? And I used these really rich, intense shades to do it. So yeah, I love this palette, guys. It's a great palette. Let me zoom you out. This is a great palette, and now having used it for 4 more looks, I think this is the star of that collection. I said it in my initial review. I felt that it was the star of the collection. Celestial Nirvana is a nice palette, it is. But if you're not into colors and you just want to dip your toe into some Pat McGrath, or you just, you want to try these shades, there's a new formula in here. This is it, guys. This is the one. She's the one. Alright guys, that is it. This video, I spent way more time on this video than I was planning on doing, and now I have to look at the clock and see because I got to rush. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it for myself, but I want to do it for you guys too. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.